Why do people bully someone who did nothing? Why is it that doing nothing somehow becomes a crime? I don't start drama. I don't talk trash. I don't provoke, flex, insult, or interfere. I show up. I mind my business. I exist quietly, and somehow that alone is enough to make people angry. That's the part nobody wants to explain. Because there is no explanation that doesn't expose something ugly. People don't bully because you did something wrong. They bully because you didn't play the role they expected. You didn't entertain them. You didn't beg for approval. You didn't act loud, fake, or desperate enough to make them feel superior. And that silence, that calm, that independence, it threatens them more than any insult ever could. Bullies need reactions like oxygen. They poke, tease, mock, and prod. Not because they're confident, but because they're empty. When you don't react, when you don't explode or cry or snap back, it forces them to sit alone with their own insecurity. And they hate that, so they escalate. Not because you deserve it, but because they can't stand being ignored by someone who seems unbothered. And let's be honest, society enables this behavior. If bullying isn't loud, violent, or obvious, it gets dismissed. Quiet targeting, subtle insults, fake jokes, constant staring, passive comments, apparently those don't count. You're told to ignore it, as if ignoring something magically makes it disappear. As if silence is consent. As if peace is weakness. The truth is, bullies don't want to fight. They want permission. Permission to feel powerful for 5 seconds. Permission to unload their frustration onto someone who won't fight back. Someone who looks like an easy target because they're calm, reserved, or different. That's why it's always the same type of people getting targeted. And it's never about what they did. Doing nothing exposes everything. It exposes how uncomfortable people are with themselves. It exposes how threatened they feel by confidence that doesn't need noise. It exposes how weak a person has to be to attack someone who gave them no reason. So no, the problem was never me. And it was never you either. The problem is people who can't stand peace, can't stand quiet confidence, and can't stand anyone who doesn't need their validation. And instead of fixing themselves, they choose to bully because that's easier than self-reflection. And that says everything about them.